Top 20 biggest box office movies of all time. Hello everyone! Welcome back to our channel. Today we will be looking at the top 20 biggest box office movies of all time. We will be checking out the movies that have shaken the world of cinema and have brought tears and joy to our hearts, ranging from the old classics to recent blockbusters. Are you ready for this countdown? Let's delve right into it. Number 20. Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Starting from the bottom of the list today is the second sequel of the popular classic movie, Star Wars. This movie depicts the 8th episode of the classic Star Wars saga, showing how Rey sought the help of Luke Skywalker to go into war with Kylo Ren and the First Order. Directed by Rian Johnson, it grossed a whopping $1.33 billion, finishing 2017 as the highest-grossing film in the world that year. Number 19. Black Panther. One of MCU's greatest movies, Black Panther was a life-changing movie. It was the first sci-fi movie created by MCU with a black superhero as the lead actor. It featured elite superstar actors like Chadwick Boseman and Michael B. Jordan, and was one of the best movies released in 2018. It was directed by Ryan Coogler and ended up grossing $1.35 billion at the box office. Number 18. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Before its release, this movie was the talk of the town. The posters were everywhere, and people were waiting, anxious, and hoping that Harry Potter and his friends would come out on top against the antagonist, Voldemort. J.K. Rowling once again showed her class, and the movie was even crazier than people imagined. It grossed $1.356 billion and was one of the best releases of 2011. Number 17. Super Mario Bros. Movie. Despite being a recent movie adapted from a game, released during the first quarter of 2023, this movie has overtaken so many iconic movies to become one of the best-grossing movies of all time. It grossed $1.36 billion and holds the record for the most financially successful movie produced from a video game. Kudos to the producers. They did an excellent job. Number 16. Frozen. Frozen, one of the best animated movies of all time, made about $1.39 billion in box office following its release. It held the record for the highest-grossing animated movie of all time until 2019, when Lion King was released. Number 15. Avengers Age of Ultron. This movie follows the story of Iron Man, who created an AI that decided to betray him and other members of the Avengers. It was an epic one. The production of the movie was no joke, with a lot of money being spent. But in the end, it paid off, grossing a total of $1.4 billion. Number 14. Barbie. Barbie is more than just a movie. It's a culture, a religion. It was released on the same day with one of Christopher Nolan's best projects, Oppenheimer. Featuring superstars like Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling, it's regarded as Greta Gerwig's greatest movie. It grossed $1.44 billion at the box office, making it the highest-grossing movie of 2023. Number 13. Frozen 2. Following the comeback in 2019, Frozen registered its mark in the movie industry. The producers went crazier with this one and made it better than the prequel. It grossed $1.45 billion after its release. Number 12. Top Gun Maverick. The Top Gun franchise is a great Hollywood franchise with an excellent stream of movies. The recently released Top Gun Maverick is, however, tagged to be the best of them all. It featured stars like Tom Cruise and Jennifer Connelly, who had great chemistry in the movie. It grossed $1.49 billion at the worldwide box office and was the second highest grossing movie in 2022. Number 11. Furious 7. Of course, the list is incomplete without mentioning a movie from the Fast and Furious franchise. With the quality of movies being released by the producers, it would be difficult not to have one of them make a buckload of money. They've released some of the best action movies of the 21st century. Furious 7 was the last movie Paul Walker featured in before his death. It was breathtaking and emotional due to the tribute to Paul Walker. It blew the movie market and grossed $1.51 billion after its release. Number 10. The Avengers. The first ever Avenger movie that was produced caught the minds of many. The joy of seeing your favorite heroes all in one movie was something that MCU fans couldn't resist. It was the beginning of a beautiful phase in the MCU world. It grossed $1.52 billion at the box office. Number 9. The Lion King. The remake of the 1994 Lion King movie was something the movie world didn't expect. It was an amazing movie, grossing about $1.6 billion at the worldwide box office. Although movie critics still had a lot to say after its release, which is normal for every top movie, but it never really affected anything. Number 8. Jurassic World. The first Jurassic World movie, introduced in 2015, was earth-shaking. It kickstarted the genesis of a new franchise. Featuring Hollywood stars like Chris Pratt, people were excited to see what the movie was all about. It grossed $1.67 billion at the box office and was the second highest grossing movie that year. Number 7. Spiderman No Way Home. The third and probably the final release of the Spider-Man trilogy of the Andrew Garfield era was nothing but an exhilarating movie. Released just in 2021, it grossed $1.92 billion at the box office worldwide. It featured the previous Spider-Man co-actors like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, as well as their villains, so the world was ready for it and wasn't going to sleep on it. Number 6. Avengers Infinity War. Of course, another MCU movie that has gained so much in revenue is the Avengers Infinity War. Of course, the writers were geniuses, creating a story where the Avengers failed to fulfill their mission. It was a thrilling movie and grossed about $2.05 billion after its release in 2018. Number 5. Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Now, down to the top 5. Star Wars yet again, but this time it's the sequel to Return of the Jedi after over 30 years. Star Wars, failing to disappoint, shocked the world with a masterclass. It grossed $2 billion after its release in 2015. Number 4. Titanic. Titanic, one of the biggest films of the 90s, explored the beautiful and sad love story of Jack and Rose. Till today, it's still a mystery how Leo DiCaprio failed to win a Grammy with his performance. It became the first movie to ever cross $1 billion mark at the box office and grossed about $2.25 billion in revenue. Number 3. Avatar: The Way of Water. Avatar: The Way of Water, one of James Cameron's recent movies, was released in late 2021. It followed the sequel of the Avatar, released back in 2009, and further displayed the relationship between Na'vi and humans. It earned a revenue of $2.31 billion despite being a recent release. Yet, to see this movie, you should check it out. Number 2. Avengers In Game. What you might describe as the greatest MCU movie of all time, Avengers In Game was an absolute cinema. The action-filled movie saw the victory of the Avengers team against their common enemy, Thanos, and also marked the end of the special MCU actor, Tony Stark. It is the highest-grossing movie in MCU, earning a revenue of $2.78 billion. Number 1. Avatar. Finally, at the top of the list is another James Cameron project, Avatar, arguably his biggest movie ever. This sci-fi movie showed how avatars tried to protect a different human species from being attacked by humans. It holds the record for the highest-grossing movie of all time, with a total money of $2.92 billion. It is one of the highest-rated movies of all time. Thanks for sticking with us. Hopefully you have seen all of these movies. Ensure that you do if you haven't. Until next time, bye!